Alrighty, and welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I am Crypto Kip. Happy Tuesday. Yesterday was a holiday, and so accordingly, I was with my family enjoying it, and I hope you guys were with yours as well. If you're in the USA, at least, we celebrate Memorial Day, and quite a wonderful holiday. American holiday, time with the family, time to celebrate those that served. Got a couple veterans in the family we got to celebrate yesterday. Some that are no longer with us that we celebrate in memory. If you haven't done so already, yes, Frank said it, Crypto Keeper said it, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more content. And let me go ahead and get my banner up there. So now you know what you're watching. You're watching the Crypto Report. You want to become a member on our channel, you can sign up using the link down below. And if you want to check out our socials, that's for you right here. And you can see right below there, there's a sign up bonus when you sign up for Blowfin, which is right there. Man, I know my banner. I know my left and right. Here we go. Buckle up, buckaroo. We have Bitcoin coming back up today. However, I do have a little bit of a question mark as to, this is the week of the crypto conference. Now, I wasn't able to make it down to Vegas, but Black Sea is going to be in Vegas for this conference this week. I might even have him pop up on a live stream live at the conference. Hopefully, potentially, we're going to see if we can make that happen. We got to see if reception's good enough and all that stuff, but it would be nice to kind of have him give us a little crypto report from the conference. Wouldn't that be something? He will be doing videos over there and reporting from the conference, which should be pretty neat. Let me go ahead and share the screen. And today we do have some very bullish news, which is in the form of more news about the president and a $3 billion getting raised on cryptos, and then a lot of other news you can see up here. I got a lot to kind of talk about, as well as who is attending this conference in Vegas this week. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit today, but I'm sure that Black Sea is going to take a deep dive into what is going on in that conference. Maybe, definitely going to be peeking at some of those speakers and reporting on kind of what is happening at some of those stages down there. You could have gotten your tickets to Bitcoin Vegas. We've had a link in the description for a while now, but it is happening today, and it is a big event on this day. You've got Ethereum coming up a little bit. Pancake Swap getting a nice boost today. One of our big gainers. Quant is moving today. Virtuals has been a constant pumper as of late. This thing continuously finds an excuse to start pumping. Look at it, up 27.9% over the last 7 days. Pancake Swap, which is the Uniswap on Binance chain. Essentially, it's the largest DEX on Binance. That's up big today. You've got some memes that are up. SPX 6900 is up today. Injective is moving. That is, I believe, an Ethereum layer 2 solution. And Aave, the largest borrowing and lending protocol on Ethereum, is also up today. So getting a little bit of an altcoin pump today, which is actually something I was talking about in the video that I recorded about Dogecoin coming out later today. Some decently exciting news for Dogecoin holders, actually, regarding Elon Musk and a big announcement. I'm not going to spoil it. Check out the video later. If you haven't heard the news on that, you're going to want to check out that video. I did also see today that Sui, despite the big problem that happened with, CEDAS on Sui the other day, we actually did see a news story come out today about 21 shares applying for a Sui ETF with NASDAQ, which is quite interesting. So there's a lot going on here, guys. We've got a lot of green today, actually. And in the red, do we have any? We've got a couple. Monero had a nice pump over the weekend, coming back down to earth a little bit, still up 9 to almost 10% in the last 7 days. You got XDC coin kind of down a little bit. This is a ISO 20022 compliant coin. This one could have some pumpability later in this bull market. We have an XDC video that got a lot of views at one point, talking about how many XDC to become a millionaire. I know a lot of people are thinking about how many of this coin, how many of that coin do I need to become a millionaire? So we'll certainly have a lot more content coming out like that of what we think would be a reasonable amount to have. And usually, guys, it's more than you'd think because, 10x, 20x, even 50x's are possible. But some people believe that like the coin they're holding is going to 1000x. And at this point, if it's a coin we've talked about on this channel, there's not really a single coin we're talking about right now that I have any conviction is going to 1000x, but there's a lot that I think are going to 10, 20, 30, maybe even 50x, possibly even in this cycle. Farcoin's down a little bit today. Too bad. Still up 7% over the last, or 13% over the last 7 days. That's incredible. Pi is below $1. So a little bit of a mixed bag today, but Ethereum is up. And so not surprised to see, obviously, Bitcoin dominance flickering a little bit of red, kind of dancing around in this range. Wouldn't be surprised to see a touchdown to that level. If I could extend this range out just a little bit more, I might as well extend it out as far as it can kind of go. Let's see. So just on this range, which isn't perfect, guys, okay? Just be aware of that. It's not perfect. Let's go to the dailies. Let's see how good this is in the dailies. Yeah, on the dailies, it's a little bit better. Boom. Okay. This is going to see a breakout. This is Bitcoin dominance again. We're going to see a breakout of Bitcoin dominance by the end of September at least. Now, historically, that's what this goes to, by the way. And let me remove the banner so you can see. And how do I get all these dates? See at the bottom here? October. So right now we're May. End of this, there should be a decisive move out of this range, at least by September, maybe getting kind of into October. It should be out of the range. And October should be kind of the best part of this cycle or the very end. And if we do get a super cycle, and there's a lot of reasons to believe that, that could be happening. And what I mean by super cycle is more so an extended cycle, not necessarily a super cycle. I don't like that term. I can get behind like extended cycle. I can get behind maybe saying, okay, these 4-year cycles are a little less of a thing and maybe it's something different now. And I'll tell you why I think maybe we could start inching towards that idea. I've got a couple stories to talk about, but I do think we're going to have a decisive breakout for Bitcoin dominance. Now, it could be to the upside. We could shoot up to the top of this range where we've tested in the past. 72, 73% for Bitcoin dominance, and then reject down, or we might just see it kind of get to the end of this point and then collapse out and then fall back down to a Bitcoin dominance level of maybe, anywhere in the 40% range. If, you're lucky and you're an altcoin holder, you get down to 39 or 38% again. Yeah, just down to 38 and change is the low that we saw in August of 2022. That's the move. That collapse, this collapse for Bitcoin dominance, the move you need for your altcoin bags like Crow, for Solana, for Doge and Pepe to rally. Somebody in the chat asked me, do I believe in a penny Pepe? No, I don't believe a penny Pepe because that is a 10x. That is a 100x basically from here. And I don't think we're going to see Pepe 100x in this cycle. However, there is a world where Pepe might 20x in this cycle. It sounds crazy, but it is possible. Okay. Now, if you get some kind of Pepe burn that, we'll see. Maybe that could change things. But I am more bullish on Pepe than in terms of percentage gain potential than maybe even Doge, but certainly Shiba Inu in my mind. And I know it's very dangerous. A lot of people like to talk about $1 a penny SHIB or $1 a penny Pepe. And I talk about those, but whenever I talk about them, if you've ever listened to those videos where I'm talking about $1 SHIB or a penny SHIB, I'm telling you guys, I don't think it's possible because I want to put out a realistic picture. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give you financial advice. It's just not what this is about. What this is about is enjoying the growth of this asset class and reporting on the news as it comes out and speculating as a speculator, because that's what I am, just like you. Talking about some of the trades that we're doing as well. I've been doing some nice trades on Bitcoin. Got stopped out on 2 trades over the weekend. One in the profit, one not in the profit, which is fine. You just got to win more than you lose in trades, right? You want to win majority of the time, knowing that you're going to have some trades that go the wrong way, which is why you set your stop losses. Don't invest more than you're willing to lose. And For example, I know Black Sea was longing Pepe recently, and he had some killer 75x Pepe trades, and he had one that went the wrong way during a video. And we show those things to you guys because that's really what happens sometimes. And so you want to trade, you want to play the game of trading, you can sign up for Blowfin. I got a link in the description, pinned in the comments for you down below. But Bitcoin is looking nice and strong right now. Guys, if this weekly candle can close above this previous wick from January 2025, we could see 120K Bitcoin very quickly. That being said, this is the Bitcoin conference week. So what's very interesting is we've got Ethereum pumping during Bitcoin conference, which starts today. And we're going to come back to that. In terms of liquidations, a couple more shorts are getting squeezed this morning. Some people, I think, were shorting and anticipating for the Bitcoin conference. I wouldn't be surprised if both the shorts and the longs are kind of getting squeezed in an equal fashion today. More of a potential stagnant, maybe 3 days we might have. That tends to be what happens around these Bitcoin conferences, even though there's some very bullish stuff that I want to talk to you guys about. Taking a peek at fear and greed index right now, the greed is at 68. You know, when you see the fear and extreme fear out in the market, those are your best times to buy. If you were buying last time we were kind of down in those levels, you would have been buying Bitcoin below 90K, right? And so now here we are, we're kind of scooping back up, headed more towards that area of greed. And you can see kind of how long crypto can stay greedy. From October through August of 2024, we stayed very greedy for crypto. And then again in October of 2024 through, January really of 2025, we were very greedy as well. And then we kind of fell into that fear phase. And so you buy low, sell high, you buy when there's fear and you take profit when there's greed, you can end up in a beautiful, beautiful position. But there will be a stretch of time where, look at this, from July until April, May. Okay, that's almost a full year of basically greed. Okay, a full year of greed. And I think that's kind of what we should be coming up into, but we are kind of running out of time for like that full year of greed thing if these cycles remain. Now, what am I talking about with cycles? It's very simple, guys. I talk about it all the time. It's been a while since I showed it. But from the lows to the highs, a bull market lasts about 1,060 or so days. Again, a bull market from the bottom to the top, there's 1,060 days. Look at where we're at right now from the lows to where we're at today. We are 910 days. And if we go to 1,064 days, that is, and you can see it down at the bottom here. Let's go ahead and unshare the banner so you can see what I'm talking about. Bing, bop, ba-do-dow day. Look at the bottom. 2,064 days from the bottom would be October 2025. Do you see what I'm saying? And so from now until let's just go to the end of October to be generous. If we have the integrity of the 4-year cycle, at best, we've got 168 days if the 4-year cycle remains the same. 168 days left of the bull market. There's a world where we do see the fear and greed index stay greedy for that 168 days. There's also a world where we've got more volatility because there are political games, there are global issues going on, there are inflation problems. But in general, look at this parabolic chart for Bitcoin. It's here to stay. It's digital gold. You know that by now. And if you're here, you're probably bullish on Bitcoin and you're looking for gains on altcoins. And I think that comes at some point in 2025. We've seen some already beautiful moments for some of these altcoins, but yep, some haven't done the big thing yet. Crow had a very nice moment. I see some people talking about it in the chat, but look at this move it had in October. In 35 days, it went up 256%. That's the beauty of altcoins. That's the beauty of altcoins, guys. It can happen very quickly. Okay. I know some people are excited to see quant moving today. Did you guys smash the like button yet, by the way, and subscribe? Tap that like button if you haven't done so already. If you're watching on X, give us a repost. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Crypto Report. Miller Frank, #1 in the chat. Daryl Young says, when are we going to get a keynote speech from Kip at the Bitcoin conference, maybe 2030, Daryl. We'll see. Got to keep the channel growing, brother, man. I'm a vibe guy. I'm a vibe guy. I'm a hype man, right? I'm not a huge crypto nerd. Maybe I am. I don't know. You tell me, but I don't know. I mean, we don't do this channel for, to be cool or to have a fan base or to get, any of that. This is the reason we have a YouTube channel is twofold. One, we love crypto. Okay. We love crypto and we love talking about it. And the second reason is, if you can entertain people and educate them about crypto, of course, with not financial advice. And then there's, a reward of some revenue from some ad revenue, and you get to talk about something you love, why wouldn't you do that? Right. But not doing it so that I can be the biggest name in crypto or whatever. It's never really been about that. It's just been about being passionate about good content, putting out good content, and hopefully entertaining some folks, and then getting rewarded from it for our hard work with, Google ad revenue. And sometimes we get some sponsors and things like that, and it's been quite a journey, but I'm very bullish on crypto. I love this asset class. We try to stay humble here, and we just try to focus on the big picture. And the big picture says Bitcoin's going to continue to go up, and there will be an altcoin season at some point in the future. And it just gets a lot to be excited for. It just gives you a lot to be excited for in this crypto space. So a couple exciting things going on today. Let's get into it. First up, there's a rumor going on. That Martini guy kind of spreads a lot of rumors. I do like his content, though. He's a YouTuber as well. This rumor's been going on for a while, but it's circling again on X. So Trump's planning to introduce a 0% capital gains tax on Bitcoin and crypto in the U.S. We've been talking about this as well. I haven't given any deadlines or timelines on this because I couldn't possibly know, but this isn't really new news. We've kind of heard of these rumors for a while. This was rumored during him running for office, and here's kind of the rumor coming back up again today. And what a day for it to be coming up. I think this rumor is just kind of regaining circulation, piggybacking off of this big news. The Trump Media Group plans to raise $3 billion to spend on cryptocurrencies. U.S. presidents, administration, and family have become staunch advocates for digital assets. This is no secret. But what is crazy is this $3 billion crypto announcement. Isn't that something? So they aim to raise $2 billion in fresh equity and another $1 billion via convertible bond, according to 6 people that have been briefed on this. You've got a massive investment coming into the crypto space. They're talking about the shares for the Trump Media Group here as well. They also plan to launch exchange-traded fund focused on crypto, which we know is going to be partnered up with crypto.com. But who is going to custody this $3 billion investment? None other than, here we go, crypto.com. Here you shout out to Cronos Chaz in the chat. I don't know if he's in the chat, but he's on X. Trump Media and Technology Group Corp partners with Crypto.com and Anchorage Digital for custody of its Bitcoin treasury in a $2.5 billion private placement. The deal involving 50 institutional investors is set to close around May 29th there, Bob. Okay, so there you go. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. You got to like it. Frank Villalobos in the chat says, speaking of that, Florida's trying to pass the no capital gains on BTC. I've seen a lot of that going on with a lot of states. I would not be surprised to see it with the country as a whole at some point, especially as we continue to adopt these beautiful, wonderful, spectacular, tremendous crypto technologies. We like them. We like them a lot. It's true. Daryl says Ethereum is blasting off, outperforming Bitcoin at the moment. You got little life signs of ETH versus BTC. Maybe it's some Bitcoin conference lull mixed with a little Ethereum pump. You got days where it's push pull. I just don't think we're in true altcoin season yet. Big reason. Oh, I forgot to pull this Fed rate prob. What would a Crypto Kip Stream B without looking at the Fed watch tool. 22 days to the next FOMC meeting. Why do I talk about this stupid, boring chart so much? Because 97% chance we're not going to get a rate cut in June, a 77% chance we're not getting a rate cut in July, and a 41% chance that we're not getting a rate cut in September. But there is over a 50% chance that we will get a rate cut by September. That would be a catalyst for an altcoin season. Hopefully we get it. And, it's interesting that the Bitcoin dominance chart, as I was showing, September, maybe we're going to get a rate cut. You look at the Bitcoin dominance chart that I was talking about, and this kind of goes to September is when this thing kind of closes out and comes to a point where we'd expect to break to the upside or break to the downside. And it could correspond with a Fed pivot. It could be beautiful. It could be great. You might like it. You might like it a lot. And then by October, we are quite optimistic of rate cuts before the end of the year at some point. By December, only a 6% chance that we don't move the needle on rates at all, which at one point was a 0% chance, but now it's 6.6. So we got to keep an eye on that. Now, we did have some news that over the weekend, the president decided to pause the tariffs on the EU. So this did help Ethereum and Bitcoin get a little bit of a move back up. We did see Bitcoin over the weekend at, where did it come down to? Let's just look down. Let's go to the daily candles. And we saw Bitcoin wick all the way below this trend line, all the way down to 107. So that happened. And then all of a sudden, the president decided to pause actually, this was today. And then over the weekend, we came down to actually 106. Okay. But even this morning, we were down to 107. Now we're back up to 110. This thing is so volatile, so great for trading. You want to trade, you can sign up for Blowfin. But we came down to 106 over the weekend. And then we saw, hey, we're going to pause this tariffs, these 50% tariffs additional on EU. And the EU is like, yeah, let's negotiate. EU wants to negotiate. And so you get a little more optimism kind of coming into this market. And that's kind of what you want to see to get the Fed to cut rates as well. But, this president is in the headlines a lot now. His business, his crypto business is planning on buying $3 billion, getting custody by crypto.com. Crypto.com also having a big news story today. Crypto.com unveils high stakes XRP strike options amid ETF buzz. Right now, there is an ETF approval chance for 83% for XRP, probably going to come. So crypto.com doubling down on offering XRP to their customer base, which is not that surprising to me. And as we see the price of Bitcoin continuing to climb, Marathon Digital, one of the big Bitcoin miners out there, the revenue hits records, $752 million as BTC price roars and soars. Its Bitcoin holdings surpassed $5 billion. These miners have a lot of Bitcoin. Sometimes they sell off. It doesn't look like they're selling off right now. When those bear markets come along, they're some of the first to know, and they're some of the first to sell off. But MicroStrategy also had a big purchase over the weekend, bought another 4,000 Bitcoin back. This is yesterday, I believe. There you go. From May 19th to the 25th, over those few days, bought another $427 million worth of Bitcoin, kind of on the dip, actually, down to 106 that we saw, 107. So he's already in the profit on his 4,000 Bitcoin buy. Imagine buying $427 million worth of something, and then it goes up 10%. Congratulations. You just made $42 million in 3 days. Michael Saylor, on top of the billions that you made on your 500,000 Bitcoin, 580,000 Bitcoin. To think about that, guys, is just insane. I the math on that, man, I couldn't do it right now. Well, he's probably got what? That's 4,000. So that's 4 billion. That's 40 billion. Call it. Yeah. So it's basically like $58 billion, almost $60 billion worth of Bitcoin Michael Saylor has right now. MicroStrategy has $60 billion worth of Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin goes up 10%, he makes $6 billion. Whoa. And investors in MicroStrategy did a class action lawsuit against him for this Bitcoin strategy. It's unbelievable. I don't understand that still, but he didn't care. He just bought more Bitcoin because he's Michael Saylor. Forget about it. Liquidations are cooling off. This is a pump natural. This is just a regular old pump. People are optimistic. I think the biggest reason for that, if I go over to Yahoo Finance, you'll see a little bit of optimism towards tariff pause. Consumer confidence sees sharp revival after Trump tariff pause. S&P 500 up to 5,900. People in the chat are saying, yep, traditional market's up today. The tariff reprieve, right? So we've got a little bit of a pump today. You can trade on this news. I've been doing it. I've been successful with it. It's been pretty fun. Trenton says, that's awesome. Florida hopefully becomes bigger than what you're looking forward to. The capital gains tax reprieve in Florida on crypto. No tax on crypto. That would be cool. Yeah. And then you've got, are you surprised? I don't know. There's a lot more negative news on this guy than ever before right now. Very interesting. There is some bullish news for Dogecoin coming out later today, kind of regarding this guy. So check out for that video later today. But yeah, we've got everything kind of coming back a little bit today. It's a decent day. And yes, Bitcoin conference. This was posted yesterday. Starts today, actually, right? Yeah, today. So there's the largest Bitcoin conference in the world in Vegas. Black Sea is there. If you're there, holler at him, say what up, grab a selfie if you can find him. It's like Where's Waldo, but where's Black Sea? The world's largest Bitcoin conference starts tomorrow. That's today, actually. Black Sea is there. I couldn't make it. I got to be a dad. I got a little bit of work to do. Couldn't make it out. Don Trump Jr. is going to be speaking at this again. So that's one big speaker. You've got Senator Cynthia Lummis coming out talking about the Bitcoin Act, right? This bill being proposed to have the United States buy more Bitcoin, not just holding the Bitcoin that they've been holding, but to buy more Bitcoin. She's going to go talk about that. People are going to go wild over that. Everybody in crypto loves Cynthia Lummis because she's a Bitcoin bull. And then you've got Ohio gubernatorial candidate. Gubernatorial, what an interesting word. Guy running for governor, okay? Ohio candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, also previously a presidential candidate, also going to be speaking at this with, I see him use that hand a lot. He uses that. He's grabbing an idea and he's placing it and he's speaking. And so Bitcoin, I don't know how he talks. I can't impersonate him. I don't know what he sounds like. But anyway, a lot of big news happening in the crypto space. A lot of big speakers are coming to this conference. And so going to be very interested to hear kind of from Black Sea of what he's hearing down at the conference. We're going to keep our thumb on that. And then, like I said, this rumor just is swirling around right now that there's a 0% crypto tax coming. You want to trade, guys? You can sign up for Blowfin. There is a link to sign up for Blowfin in the link in the comments down below if you want to do it. I am not currently in a trade, as you can see, but I am keeping an eye out. And it might be time for the bulls. We're back above 110. Maybe we're going to get a bounce off 110. It could be good. It could be great. So I'm going to take a seat because I want to take a seat, and then we'll do a little Q&A. With all yous out there. All of yous. All uses. All right. What do we got, folks? Daryl. Quite the comment, Daryl. He sounds very white. Vivek sounds very, very white. Blake says, Crow coin to the moon. Hey, wouldn't that be nice? I think at some point, yeah. I mean, I'm still bullish on Crow. Trenton in the chat says, I think we are like this for a little while with minor incremental gains until the late third quarter, beginning of Q4. You're talking about basically rate cuts. Yeah. I mean, it could be. Some people are talking sell in May, walk away. I don't know. We'll see. I've never really believed sell in May, walk away. And if the market dips, why would you walk? Wouldn't you buy that dip? Maybe you sell a little bit, and when it dips, you buy. Maybe that's what you're doing, right? When do you think, Frank Villalobos says, when do you think these Crow ETFs will start pumping the prices? I just want all those Wall Street folks to start having another way to get exposed to crypto, especially Crow. Look, I mean, at some point later this year, maybe Q3, maybe Q4, but, Q2 is almost over. You got 1 month left in Q2. Joshua in the chat says, isn't part of the 3 billion purchasing going towards the ETF Crow is part of? I don't think that was an outs there. I mean, it could be, but it was a little more vague. There was no specifics into that, but you could speculate that. BP and Forever says TARS AI is a little juicy right now. Good. We've been talking about TARS AI. Again, I am bullish on that one. We've done a lot of sponsored content on that, but just because I do a sponsored video on it, I like it. I mean, some people think, oh, it's just sponsored, and then they don't want to get it just because I say it's sponsored, but that's not the case, right? We try to take good sponsors, and TARS specifically is one that I'm probably the most optimistic on of anything we've really done sponsors for. Blake says, sometimes people deploy all their capital at higher prices and run out of money trying to buy the dip that keeps dipping. Yeah, well, Blake, that is the story of crypto. Absolutely. Crypto Keeper says the AI looking forward to no tax on overtime. Nice. Yeah. Good. That'll be good. No tax on tips, right? That was another one. The Paul Barron Network, Paul Barron Network is bullish on Avalanche. Are you? Yeah, I'm bullish on Avalanche too. I think it's kind of like for a second there, it was like the hottest thing next to Solana. And you know who really likes that? That Choose Rich guy really talks about it a lot. So it has definitely big exposure. But I think Avalanche is one. I know George from Cryptos R Us has liked it in the past. And I know he's got the COQ coin. And he was enjoying some of the memes there. Scott's really loving that ZBCN coin. Still not really tickling my fancy yet, but hey, there's a lot of great plays out there that I'm going to miss. There's a lot I'm going to hit. Everybody can kind of pick an old category. It's the cool thing about this asset class. You can go memes. You can trade on Solana. You can trade on Binance. You can trade on all the different chains. You can look at the gaming. You can look at Depend. You can look at RWA. You can look at AI. I don't know what this Binance Alpha is. But fun fact, for Binance Alpha, they're listed by to reorder list. I don't understand what the Binance Alpha list is, but interesting. Fun fact, CoinMarketCap is owned by Binance. Daryl Young says, so let's say we get another crypto winter. What do you think a reasonable bottom could be? Well, reasonable bottom historically, Daryl, is just basically what we've seen in the past. So in order to do that, we got to go back and take a time machine and go back to the previous highs and the previous lows. And you know what you see is, not really below the previous high too much, right? Bitcoin came back down in 2021 a little bit below the 20K high, but not much. And then in this cycle here, well, we're not in the lows yet, but you go to last cycle, here's the high, there's the highs. The high was higher. Here's the high from 2013, and then, well, there's the high in 2013. Yeah, I mean, so, somewhere around, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see it come back down to like the lowest I'd be willing to say is like some of the lower parts of this cycle. So maybe like down to 29 or 30 again would be my most bearish kind of level for Bitcoin at the lows again. But my kind of expectation would be more around this level which is like anywhere from 55 to 65. Some people are going to say, hey, well, once we go past 100, we're never going to come back down below 100 again. I don't necessarily believe that. It's possible, right? Especially if that super cycle happens, but it's really almost impossible to predict exactly where it's going to go. But historically, you see it basically come back down to the previous highs is kind of it, or slightly below it, slightly above it. So, and let's see here. Was this? Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to say, but yeah, I'd say like I'd be shocked if it ever came below 30 again, and I'd be not surprised if it came back down to 68. And I wouldn't be surprised if it did like come down to like, I don't know, like wick down to maybe where we consolidated around like the 70s or the 80s, something north of 65 would probably make the most sense to me. It's a big range. I mean, it's a big range, but I do believe that at the bottom of a bear market, as long as we see a bear market again and the 4-year cycles aren't canceled and this isn't like an up-only rally, which I'm going to have a hard time getting behind. I think there will be a crypto winter again at some point. That's kind of what I think. The low could be, 65 to 100 would be kind of the low. I think it would break back down below 100 and maybe we run to, I don't know. Let's pretend we run to 300 in this cycle. Okay. If we came down back to where we're at today, that's a 70% crash. What kind of crashes do we see for Bitcoin in a bear market? Well, you see about a 77, call it an 80% crash from the highs. So if Bitcoin goes to 200, let's call it 200, then a 80% crash would be down to 39. So you see what I'm saying? I mean, it's a decent range. And if the top's in right now, you're still not coming back down below 20K. Okay. But the top's certainly not in right now. But I feel like that's a pretty good range. You can kind of generally expect Bitcoin to crash about 80%. Of course, in 2017, it crashed a little bit more, came down 84%. So, kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, anything under 100K it's going to be good in the future. Bitcoin's going to $1 million. You're going to like those 100K purchases, folks. You were thinking 40. Yeah, I mean, I like that. I mean, I don't love it. I like it. I mean, I'd love to buy it there. Wouldn't that be great? If you guys want to trade, you can sign up for Blowfin. I got a link for you down below. How we doing, Anthony DeMar? Boom. Too many. Too long. Waiting for you to talk. The walk. Booby. Little Christopher Walken for the boys. It's too much. Perhaps not enough. Whoa. Oh, love it. How you doing, Anthony? How you been? So I was listening to Somewhere Over the Rainbow in the car the other day. You guys remember when I sang that on stream? That was fun. The copyright strike wasn't fun, though. I don't sing enough anymore. First and foremost, I was a musician. Now I sell insurance and I talk about crypto. Move that crow to 50 cents, says Chef X3. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? I'd like it. I'd like it. Anthony says crypto has taken our souls. That's right. That's right. Robert in the chat says, hey, Kip, want to start using Blowfin? Do you have tutorials posted on how to use it? Yeah, we do. Black Sea did one. So if you guys want a tutorial on how to use Blowfin, first of all, the link to sign up is in the description down below. Okay. And second of all, I'm going to show you where the tutorial is. So when you go to our channel, all right. Wait a minute. Wait just a second here. Where is it? Hold on. I got to find our channel. Oh, I'm in the studio. I can't be in the studio. All right. Well, I'm going to show you this anyway. Okay. Share the screen. Boom. All you got to do is go like that. Type in Blowfin. Go to our channel, type in Blowfin. There you go. Blowfin tutorial. There it is. Boom. There's another one there too. So there's two different takes on it. Maybe I'd go to the second one. Uh-oh. I think I've got a case of the Tozy Wozies in the chat. Oh my goodness. A big, beautiful breakfast. Look, breaking news, guys. A banana. Okay. I've got some strawberries. Nope, we can't do that. We can't do that. I've got a hash brown. I'm going to take a bite. Did you hear the crunch? And I got 2 eggs. And there's your guide to sign up for Blowfin. Thank you, honey. That's Mr. Crypto Kip. Mr. Crypto Kip. Bringing in the goods. Life is good, Chef X3. Oh, Daryl, come on. What? I don't have a $500 million Bitcoin long. I was just joking. I was actually in a short at the time I made that tweet, Daryl. I was just having fun. Yeah, there's a guy that was long, like 40x long on millions of bucks. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I think he's in the profit right now. So it's incredible. Isn't that incredible? Wasn't the crunch on that hash brown good? I got to go. I'm going to go eat my hash brown. All right, guys. Hey, good luck signing up for Blowfin. It's easy. There's a link down below. Be careful. Start with low leverage. Robert in the chat. Start with low leverage. I not financial advice, but if new people, I think it's good to start with low leverage. It's easy to just ramp it right up to 100x and try to make a bunch, and you can do that, right? You can take $50 and do a 75x Pepe long or something, right? We've been talking about some of that. You can do that, but the lower leverage, the longer you can kind of stay in the trade, and the less risk you have of getting liquidated, and less money you can make. But we're really just trying to kind of build a stack of profit to then continue to DCA into the portfolio, and that's really what the goal has been for me with the trading. Did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy that, Daryl? All right, guys. I'm Crypto Kip. This is the Crypto Report. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel that has the biggest bananas ever. This banana is huge. DCA. Hold on. There's blueberries in here too. I don't know if you guys can see this. I got strawberries and blueberries. I'm going to enjoy it now. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Bananas on.